What's going on, everybody? Splice Citrus here, back with another Genshin Impact video, and today we're going to be looking at the new 5-star banner character for 2.0, Kamisato Ayaka. As you can see, she's got a very elegant design, little samurai-esque, very cute, really nice looking character. If you haven't encountered in the story yet, really nice voice acting as well. But let's jump right into it. So, the way the test character is equipped out here is we got the 5-star banner, weapon banner, the Mist Splitter Reforged here, which has crit damage baked right into the base stats here. So what this weapon does is, right off the bat, you get a 12% elemental damage bonus for all elements and receive the might of the Mist Splitter's emblem. At stack levels 1, 2, and 3, you get a 8% bonus at 1 stack, 16 at 2, and 28 at 3 for elemental damage bonus for the character's elemental type. So obviously, for a cryo character, you get cryo bonus damage. So the way you get those stacks, you get 1 stack by performing a normal attack that deals elemental damage, which is going to be very easy for Ayaka here, and that stack lasts 5 seconds. So you want to keep these stacks as long as possible, of course. So you want to be able to perform a normal attack that deals elemental damage at least once every 5 seconds for sure. To get the second stack, casting your elemental burst, that stack lasts 10 seconds. And then if your energy is less than 100%, your stack disappears when energy is full. So you want to be popping your elemental burst as often as possible, otherwise you're going to be losing that extra 12% damage buff by leaving your ultimate up and ready. So each stack's duration is calculated independently, so you can't just refresh your normal attack with elemental damage to refresh all the others. Each one is calculated independently. Up next, they have her equipped with the Blizzard Strayer set. Pretty good set for Ayaka. She's definitely more of a cryo DPS user. You definitely don't want to build her as physical. She's really going to shine as a cryo build, and you'll see why as we get into the talents here. So up first, for the normal attack, pretty basic stuff, nothing special in here. Here's the stats for level 8. Like I said, nothing special going on with the normal attack. The animation is pretty cool. We'll show you that later. For the E ability, the elemental skill summons a blooming ice to launch nearby opponents, dealing AoE cryo damage. So Ayaka just summons this giant snowflake underneath her feet, pops enemies up in the air, and deals some cryo damage. Skill attributes, we've got 383% damage at level 8. And it has a cooldown of 10 seconds. Now, if you'll notice that it also does not have a hold variation. So this is strictly a press skill. Up next, we've got a sprinting skill. So just like Mona, when you sprint using Mona, she turns into water, goes kind of like under the ground, and you can sprint across bodies of water and stuff like that. Well, Ayaka can do the same thing, but as a frozen fog right here. So she can also move swiftly across bodies of water, which is awesome. So if you don't have Mona, this is definitely a good character to get for that. When she reappears, she will apply cryo on nearby opponents. And then she will also infuse her weapon, or infuse her attacks rather, with cryo for a brief period. So that infusion duration is 5 seconds, so you want to make sure you're sprinting and popping back up out of the ground every 5 seconds to keep your weapon infused with cryo, so that way you benefit from the cryo bonus damage of the Blizzard Strayer set, as well as the elemental bonus damage, if you have an elemental bonus damage weapon anyways. If you don't, I would still chase this buff. Definitely a very good buff, as you'll see with some of the other talents here. Definitely something you want to keep up. Elemental Burst. So this one basically summons a giant whirling snowstorm, kind of ball-shaped, and it travels slowly in a straight line. and it deals AoE cryo damage to anybody in its path. So we do 180% cutting damage, 270% bloom damage at level 8. It lasts 5 seconds. I think the damage ticks every half a second. So if an enemy was caught in the snowstorm for the entire duration, that'd be a total of 10 clicks. Cooldown of 20 seconds, energy cost of 80. Up first for the passive talents. So when you use your sprinting ability, your normal and charge attacks deal 30% increased damage for 6 seconds. Or excuse me, not the sprinting, the elemental skill, the E. When you use your E ability, your normal and charge attacks deal 30% increased damage for 6 seconds, which doesn't sound like it's possible, at least not yet, because the cooldown of this ability has 10 seconds, but you could actually have permanent uptime for this, as you'll see once we get to the constellation. Passive talent number 2. When the cryo application at the end of the sprinting ability hits an opponent, Ayaka gains the following effects. She restores 10 stamina and gains 18% cryo damage bonus for 10 seconds. So this is another reason why you want to keep sprinting, so you can get that 5-second cryo infusion and get the 10-second 18% cryo damage bonus for 10 seconds as well. Lastly, for a passive talent, you get a 10% chance to receive double the product when crafting weapon ascension materials, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's jump into the constellation here. So C1. So when Ayaka's normal or charge attacks deal cryo damage to opponents, it has a 50% chance, that's a pretty high rate, of decreasing the cooldown of her E, her elemental skill, by 0.3 seconds, and this effect can only occur every 10th of a second. So by getting C1, you could essentially have 100% uptime for this this passive here, getting that 30% extra increased damage. So C1, definitely a really nice boost to damage. C2 basically takes her ultimate ability and it unleashes 2 additional smaller snowstorms here, each dealing 20% of the original storm's damage. C3 obviously just increases your Q ability by 3 points. C4, opponents damaged by Ayaka's ultimate will have their defense decreased by 30% for 6 seconds. C5 increases the level of your E by 3, just like everybody else. C6, Ayaka gains Usurahi Butu every 10 seconds, increasing her charge attack damage by 298%. Huge buff there for charge attack damage. This buff will be cleared half a second after you deal a charge attack that hits an opponent, after which the timer for this ability will restart. So every 10 seconds, if you got Ayaka to C6, you want to make sure you're using a charge attack every 10 seconds for sure to get that really huge damage buff. Otherwise, if you don't have her at C6, there's really not much of a use for using charge attacks other than to just use them. But anyway, that does it for her kit. She does have some pretty cool attack animations. And then the charge attack is one of the coolest charge attacks we've seen yet. Very samurai-esque, very, very cool. But let's jump right into it and let's do the test run here. There we use the E. As you saw, we pop the slimes up in the air. Okay, my ultimate's charged and ready. I want to get that popping so I can try to get that buff from my weapon. Keep that going, keep as many stacks on my weapon as possible. As you can see, I'm sprinting all the time, trying to keep that buff up. Her Q does do some pretty nice damage, but granted, she is using the 5-star banner weapon as well, so you may not, your results may vary depending on how you build your Ayaka. She's I would definitely consider her more of a DPS or a sub-DPS character, not much of a support. There's definitely some better cryo supports in the game, like Rosaria, for example, who can really help keep enemies perpetually frozen with her ultimate, whereas Ayaka's ultimate can kind of do the same thing, but since the ball keeps moving, it's a little bit harder it does move at a pretty decent rate of speed. So even though it lasts 5 seconds, it's highly unlikely you're going to keep an enemy frozen for 5 seconds because that storm is going to pass right by him. But anyways, should you pull for Ayaka? Well, that depends. Do you need a cryo DPS? Then yeah, you should probably definitely pull for it. If you don't have Ganyu, don't have... I wouldn't really consider Eula a cryo DPS. She's more of a physical, of course. But yeah, if you've got a use for a cryo DPS character, or if you just really like her style, you like the way she looks, you like the way she plays, then by all means, yeah, definitely pull her. But anyways, that's going to do it for this test run here. Hope you guys like Ayaka. I won't be pulling for her. I've got plenty of cryo the way it is. I'm gonna be saving for Bale, I think. I think I'm probably gonna even skip Yomaya. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.